Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. I hear that trailer cutting, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. That train keeps rolling on down the San Antonio. I was just a baby. My mama told me, John, always be a good boy, don't never play with guns. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. That train keeps rolling, I hang my head and cry. Some fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee, smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming, I know I can't be free. Train keeps rolling, that's what tortures me. That railroad train of mine, I'd probably move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I let that lonesome whistle roll my blues away. Thank you very much. I'm Johnny Cash. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I got to do my favorite thing in the whole world. Let's do a tribute to the great Johnny Cash, the only human on the planet Earth inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame, Songwriter Hall of Fame, and the Folk Music Hall of Fame. Johnny Cash got his start down in Memphis, Tennessee, along with all them rabble-rousers, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Roy Orbison, all them guys. Only problem with Memphis was there was no place to play live. If you wanted to play live, you had to go down to the Louisiana Hayride. That's the first time Johnny Cash ever got to see Elvis play live, was at the Louisiana Hayride, and he was very impressed with Elvis. He was so impressed with Elvis, he wrote a special song just for Elvis. But then he found out that Elvis had sent a love note to his potential future girlfriend, June Carter. He decided he wasn't going to give that song to Elvis, he was going to keep it for himself. And that's exactly what he did. It's a good thing he did too, because he made a lot of money, and this is that song. Get rhythm, if you got the blues, get rhythm. If you got the blues, only cost about a dime a shoe, it'll do $1 million good for you. Get rhythm, if you got the blues. Shoe shine more than never gets down. He got the dirtiest job in town, bending low at the people's feet, a windy corner of a windy street. Asked him when he shined my shoe, how he kept from getting the blues. Brendan shook his little head while the shoe shined back. Then he said, get rhythm. You got the blues, get rhythm. Well, you got the blues. Jump the rhythm and you beat so fine. She goes trouble on your word mind. Get rhythm. If you got the blues. If you got the blues, don't talk about diamond shoes. Do what you got good, get rhythm. You got the blues. I sat down, listened to the shoe shine boy. Thought I was gonna jump the joy. Slapped on the shoe line left and right, popped the shoe shine rag and held it tight. He stopped once so I could sweat away. I'm looking forward to be a worker that way. Said I like it with a big wide grin. Popped the shoe shine rag and he said it again. Good rhythm. You got the blues. Rhythm. You got the blues. Only talk about a diamond shoe. Just to make it sound good. You can't rhythm. If you got the blues. Thank you very much. Well, I tell you what, I'd like to do a very special song for you now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the song that got Johnny Cash barred from the Grand Ole Opry. There are those among us that say that Johnny Cash used to drink a little too much. I personally don't believe that, but it is true that he had had a few to drink the night he showed up at the Ryman Theater. He just gotten his hands on this song, and he was singing this song. He got so excited, he stomped out all the footlights. I don't have any footlights. I'll do the best I can, though, without them. The song has nothing to do with stomping out footlights anyway. I guarantee you're going to remember this song. It goes a little like this right here. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much for my ma and me. Just this old guitar, empty bottle of booze. I don't care that he run and hit, but the meanest thing that he ever did is, before he left, he went and named me Sue. I must have thought that was a pretty good joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. Seems I had to bite my whole laugh through. Some gal would giggle and I turn red, some guys laugh and I bust his head. Things just ain't that easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick, I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Rode from town to town to hide my shame. Well, I swore by the moon and stars I'd search those honky-tonks and bars, and I'd find that mangy weasel and name me Sue. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July. I rode into town, my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. There on a street of mud, sitting at a table dealing stud, was that mangy rat that wouldn't name me Sue. I knew that snake was my own sweet dad by an old photograph that my ma had had, and I recognized his scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He's big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood run cold today. My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you are gonna die. Well, I hit him once right between the eyes, and he went down, and to my surprise, come up with a knife and he cut off a chunk of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we went through the wall out into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the fear. Well, I fought tougher men, but I really don't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh, then I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I drew mine first, and he stood there in the street, and I've seen him smile. He said, son, you've got to be tough, this whole world. I knew I wouldn't be around to help you along. So I give you that name, I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And you know, it's that name that helps make you strong. Now, you just fought one hell of a fight. I know you hate me and you have the right to kill me now. And I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye. I'm the mangy snake that named you Sue. What could I do? What could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up. I threw down my gun. Called him a boy, he called me a son, and I went away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I tried, every time I went, and if I ever have a boy, I'm gonna name him Bill or George or Ralph, anything but Sue. That's an awful name. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, keep your hands together and make welcome to the stage my sweet wife, Miss June Carter.
Hi, y'all. You know, I just couldn't hardly wait, John, to get out here and say hi to everybody. How's everybody doing?
I know, June, but you can't be rushing around like that. You're going to have an accident rushing around like that.
John, I ain't never had an accident in my life.
You ain't never had an accident in your life?
I have never had an accident in my whole life.
You sure?
Well, there was that time last year when that big old bull threw me over that fence.
Yeah. And you don't call that an accident?
No, I really think he did it on purpose. And you know what, John? I had to go to the doctor this morning.
You went to the doctor?
I did. I went to the doctor. And
what's the problem?
Well, he told me that I had to take a pink pill every morning when I get up with a great big glass of water. And every day at lunch, I have to take a blue pill with another glass of water. And at night before I go to bed, I take this little green pill with another big glass of water.
Well, what did he say was the matter?
He said I'm not drinking enough water.
Oh.
And would you believe I had to take that big old hound dog to the vet?
Your old fat dog you took to the vet?
I did. I took that fat dog to the vet.
Well, what was the matter?
Well, would you believe that dog swallowed a bullet?
Your dog swallowed. What did the vet say?
He said, well, don't point him at me.
Oh.
All right, John, let's sing some songs.
I want to tell these folks right quick, though, you know, Johnny Cash and June Carter had the #1 television show in the whole United States in 1972. For 2 years there. And they made the career of a lot of different people, ladies and gentlemen. One of them was Bob Dylan. Johnny Cash went to the producer and said, I want Bob Dylan on my show. They said, we ain't having that old hippie on the show. He said, well, it's my show, and he's going to be on there if I'm going to be on there. So he was on there, and from then on, the whole United States knew who Bob Dylan was. Johnny and June recorded one of Bob's songs, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is a song they won a Grammy on. Goes like this right here.
I know y'all gonna remember this one.
From my window, leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. Oh, you say you're looking for someone who's never weak, but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you are right or wrong. Someone to open each and every door. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me.
y'all a little story about John here before we do this next song. Now, when the first time I ever laid eyes on John here, I was singing at the Ryman Theater, the Grand Ole Opry, with my Mother Maybelle Carter, and the Carter family, my sisters. And John here, he came backstage after the show, and he looked at the Carter family, and he looked at me, and he said, you know, he said, I am a really big fan of the Carter family. Well, you know, the Carter family, they were the first people to ever sing gospel music on the radio. And John was a gospel musician. And he looked right at me. And he said, Jim Carter, he said, I'm a really big fan of yours. He said, I'm going to marry you someday. I said, Lord, that's just what I don't need in my life. Well, I didn't see him again for 7 years, but I wrote this song that night, and I didn't dare let John know that he would have seen right through me, but I guess those little eyes of his burned a hole in my heart because I wrote this song, and I think you guys are going to remember it. When I first wrote it, it went something like this. Oh, I fell into burning a ring of fire. Does that ring a bell? Well, my sister Anita recorded it, and John heard it, and he recorded it, and he did not know until after he recorded it that I wrote it about him. That's true. And he got it, and this is what he did with it.
Burning flame, a fiery rain, oh, by one side, I fell into a ring of fire. Oh, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 the flame went higher, and it burns, 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 that ring of fire, that ring of fire. Sing! Oh, I fell into a burning ring of fire. It went down, down, down. The flame went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. That ring of fire, that ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet, when hearts like ours beat. I fell for you like a child. Well, we're going to get around to that now. But this one was the most requested one that we had, and it was a Grammy winner, y'all. And if you know it, you can sing along with it. You can help us out on it.
Goes like this.
Yeah.
Well, we got married in a fever. I had a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fall. around. I'm going to Jackson. Now Jackson, what do you say about that?
I'm down to Jackson. Head ahead and wreck your head. Go play your hand. You've been talking, man. Make a big fool of yourself. We're going down to Jackson. Well, first go comb that hair.
I'm gonna snowball Jackson.
Go ahead and see if I care.
Well, I breeze into that city. All them women gonna stoop and bow.
I doubt it.
All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. I'm going to Jackson. Turn loose on my coat. I'm going to Jackson.
Goodbye, the Tulsa Road. They'll laugh at you in Jackson. I'll be dancing on a pony cake. Well, it's buggy right out of town like a scalded pound with your tail tucked between your legs. They're going to Jackson. You big talking man. I'll be waiting there in Jackson. Behind my JPEG bag.
We got murder fever.
Fire pepper sprout. We've been talking about
Jackson ever since a far away. I'm going to Jackson.
oh yeah.
That is a fact. I'm going to Jackson.
Ain't never coming back.
Yeah, June, I'm going to Jackson. All your begging's not slowing me down this time.
Well, John, why don't you just go to Jackson? Just go right ahead, old John, go to Jackson, but do not call me up on the telephone and ask me to send you a Greyhound bus ticket to come home again, because I am not going to stay this time.
I'm out of here, June.
Don't call me, I'll call you. Thank you. Now people have more fun than anybody, don't they? You know, I got a special song to do for you, and this was a Grammy winner, and you know, it's been said that this is the most important country song of all time.
She's being a little modest. June won 2 Grammys for this song. For Best Country Traditional Album and Best Traditional Country Song.
That's true. Hand from June Carter. You know, this song goes way back to the early 1800s, and the reason they say it's one of the most important songs in country music, because every band has done it, and every band used to do it, and every band was doing it back all the way to the early 1800s. And you know, in those days, well, people didn't write down lyrics as much as they do today. They didn't even have any internet. So, you know, they kind of repeated the words to the song to their kids, and their songs kind of got mixed up and where they just didn't make any sense at all, to tell you the truth. So we kind of researched it, and we went back and we found out that a lady named Maud Irvin wrote this song in 1820, and we think this is the way her original lyrics were. That's not it.
That ain't it. That's my fault, June. I'm sorry.
You ready, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. taught me to love him and called me his flower. That blossom for him, oh, brighter each hour. I woke from my dream, my idol of clay. All visions of love have all faded away. My visions of love have all faded away.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you? You remember that song? You know, I got to tell you, that is a sad song. That is a sad song. It's about this rascal, this no good rascal that ran off and left this young woman. He stole her innocence. That's true. All right, John, are you ready?
Almost.
Oh, he has to change guitars.
I gotta switch up here. I'm coming though, okay? Here goes. How about a Carter family song? You for that?
All right, we're going to do one for the Carter family. If you remember that one, I know you're going to remember this one. I know you're all going to know this one, so you can help us out with it.
I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and times were bad. There's a silver light behind each and every cloud. Just four people, that's all we were, trying to make a living off of flatlanders. We'd get together in the evening singing loud. Daddy sang me, little brother with joy and night. Singing seems to have a troubled soul. One of these days there won't be long, I'm gonna join them in a song. Join that family circle at the throne. Well, the circle won't be broken by and by, Lord, by. I can hear you singing back in the back. Daddy sing me, little brother with joy and riding there in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I remember after work, Mama would call in all of us. You'd hear us singing for a country mile. Little brother is done gone on, I want to join him in a song. I'll join that family circle at the throne. Daddy sang me,
Mama sang tenor,
me, little brother with joy and riding. Singing seemed to help a troubled soul. One of these days there won't be long, I'm gonna join them in a song. Join that family circle at the throne. Everybody, well, the circle won't be broken by and by, Lord, by and by. Daddy sang me,
Mama sang tenor,
me, little brother with joy and riding there in the sky, Lord, in the sky, in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Thank you. Oh, we remember that one now, don't we?
There's another one, June Road, ladies and gentlemen, it goes like this. Well, I'm gonna take out walking, just you wait and see.
I'll get up here leaving without me.
Well, you big mouth woman,
You long, big guitar picking man.
well,
I think we can.
I stole the whole diamond, trying to get you to shut your mouth.
Yeah, but how am I gonna wear it? I gotta hide it out.
Well, you big mouth woman,
You long, still what you are.
Well, you big mouth woman.
Long-legged guitar picking man.
Well, we can work this out.
I think we can.
We'd work it out a lot quicker if you'd behave.
Well, I'll tell you, John, I think we might be able to work this out. I don't know, but you are the one that's going to have to behave a whole lot better than you do, John. See how he shows off?
All right, wait, I can't have a whole show without telling a joke. Preacher was preaching the other day. He asked that age-old question. If there's anyone in this room here tonight that's perfect, stand up now. One guy stood up in the back of the room. Preacher said, man, you think you're perfect? He said, no, I was standing up for my wife's ex-husband. He couldn't be here. Well, I've had another Grammy thing to wait for you.
We do. We have another Grammy song for you before I leave and turn it back over to John.
Either that or I'm going to start telling jokes. I don't know which one. I were a carpenter, you were a lady. Would you marry me? Would you have my baby?
You were a carpenter, I was a lady. I'd marry you anyway. I'd have your baby.
If I worked my hands in wood, would you still love me?
I promise you, yes I would. I'd put that above you.
Save my love through loneliness, save my love through sorrow. I've given you my only best.
Give me your tomorrow.
If I were a miller, at a mill wheel grinding, would you miss your colored brows, soft you shining?
You were never, I know grinder. I wouldn't miss my colored eyes or my soft shoes shining.
Save my love through loneliness, save my love through sorrow. I've given you my whole life.
Give me your tomorrow.
If I take her word my trade, would I still find you?
Just carrying the punching bag, following behind you.
If I were a carpenter and you were a lady,
I'd marry you anyway. I'd have your baby.
save my love through loneliness, save my love through sorrow. I've given you my only best.
Give me your tomorrow.
I'm a carpenter. Hey, John, Miss June Carter.
Bye, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about that.
Is there anybody in this room that remembers Chris Christopherson? You know, back in 1968, things weren't going so good for Chris. He was working as a janitor in a recording studio that Johnny Cash was recording. He kept trying to slip cassette tapes to Johnny Cash, and the owner of the studio called him and said, Chris, if I catch you doing that again, I'm going to fire you. So then he tried slipping them to June. Well, either June wasn't giving Johnny the tapes or Johnny wasn't listening to him because nothing was happening for Chris. Chris also had another talent in that he was a helicopter pilot with the Air National Guard. Him and Johnny had a lot in common, and they liked to drink a little too much in the afternoons. And one afternoon, Chris had a little too much to drink. He borrowed a helicopter from the Air National Guard, flew it over to Johnny Cash's house, and landed it in the front yard. Johnny was curious. He came out to check out, see what was going on, and ladies and gentlemen, about the time Chris was starting to get out of the helicopter, he opened the door, fell on his head, rolled 3 times, and came up with a cassette tape. He said, "I have your next hit right here." Johnny said, "Boy, I like your style. Come on in the house. Let's have a beer and listen to that tape." They listened to the tape. Johnny said, "I can't believe you told my whole life story on one cassette. I am going to record that song." And he did. It's a good thing he did, because it made a whole lot of money for him, and it got Chris Christopherson out of the janitorial business into the songwriting business, where he belonged to start out with. A great song. A lot of people don't know Johnny Cash did this because it's been covered so many times since Johnny Cash did it. But he was the first one ever to record this song. It goes like this. I woke up Sunday morning, no way to hold my head. That didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast tasted good, so I had one more for dessert. I fumbled through the closet, through my clothes, and found my cleanest dirty shirt. I washed my face and combed my hair, stumbled out the door to meet the day. I'd smoked my mind the night before, all the cigarettes and songs I'd been picking. I stopped beside a park. I watched a small kid with a can that he was kicking. I walked on down the lane. I caught the Sunday smell of someone fried chicken. It took me back to something I'd lost somewhere, somehow, along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. There's something in the Sunday makes a body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying. I've been lonesome as the sound. Sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl. He was swinging. I stopped beside a park, listened to the choir as they were singing. Walked on down the lane. Somewhere a lonely bell was ringing, and it took me back to something I lost somewhere, somehow, along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. There's something in the Sunday makes the body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying. I've been lonesome as the sun of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. All right, so that's that's Chris Christopherson and Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash started their careers. And you remember, if you've been watching AOL or the news lately, you'll see that Pete Seeger just passed away. That's another gentleman that got his start on the Johnny Cash show, ladies and gentlemen. And there was hundreds more got their start. He started just about as many people on their careers as Johnny Carson did. Johnny Cash did not start out in the music business. He was born in a one-room shack in Kingsland, Mississippi. Joined the military as soon as he could because he hated picking cotton. They sent him to Germany, bought his first guitar over there for $5, started writing songs, going to be a big songwriter when he came back to Memphis. But instead, he ended up being a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. Sometimes things just don't work out like you planned. He hated that job, but he heard they were making a whole lot of money up in Detroit. So he went up to Detroit, make his fortune, and got him a job on an assembly line. He hated that worse than selling vacuum cleaners. So he went back to Memphis, met Sam Phillips, started writing songs, recording music, and everything kind of smoothed out for Johnny, ladies and gentlemen. But that trip to Detroit was not a total waste. He got some great material from a great song, and I'm going to share that song with you right now. It goes like this. Kentucky back in 49, I went to Detroit working on assembly line. First year I spent putting wheels on Cadillacs. Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd hang my head and cry, 'cause I always wanted me one that was long and black. Well, I devised myself a plan that would be the envy of most any man. I'd sneak it out in a lunchbox in my hand. Now getting caught meant getting fired. I figured I'd have it all by the time I retired. I'd have me a car worth at least $100 grand. You know how I'd get it? I'd get it one piece at a time. Wouldn't cost me a dime. You know it's me when I go through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, drive everybody wild. I'll have the only one there is around. Checked in with my big lunchbox and helping my friends. I left that day with a lunchbox full of gears. I never considered myself a thief, but Jim wouldn't miss just one little piece, especially if I strode it out over several years. Next day I got me a big fuel pump, then I got an engine and a trunk, then I got a transmission and all the chrome. Little stuff we got in my big lunchbox, like nuts and bolts and all four shocks. The big stuff we snuck out in my buddy's mobile home. Up to now, everything was all right until we tried to put it together one night. Then we realized something was definitely wrong. Oh, the motor was a 63 and the transmission was a 53. And when we put the bolts in, all the holes is gone. Well, we drilled out the holes so the bolts would fit with a little bit of help from an adapter kit. We had that motor running just like a song. Oh, the headlights, they were quite a sight. We had 3 on the front and 2 on the right. We pulled a switch out, all 5 of them come on. And the rear end looked a little funny too when we put it together. And when we was through, because I swear it only had one big tail fin. About then, my wife come out. I can see in her eyes she had her doubts, but she hopped in the back and said, "Y'all, take me for a spin." Well, we headed uptown to get the tags, and I drove straight up that big main drag. You could hear them laughing at us for miles around. But at the courthouse, they didn't laugh. All to ride it up, it took the whole staff. And when they was through, the title weighed 40 pounds. You know how I got it? I got it one piece at a time. It wouldn't cost me a dime. You know it's me when I go through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, drive everybody wild. I'll have the only one there is around. Wait, I'm getting a call on my CB. Come back here, buddy. Yeah, Red Rider, is that you? Yeah, this is the Psycho Billy Cadillac coming back at you, good buddy. What's that? The cost of this automobile? Why, you might just say I drove up to the factory and picked it up. They're cheaper that way, you know. What's that? The year of this car? Funny you should ask. It's a 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61 automobile. It's a 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 71, 96 automobile. I want to get my partner June to come up here and hum with me one time. June, would you? I need a help. I need a little bit of help there. Would you come on up here one more time? I thought she went out for a milkshake now. Here she comes, ladies and gentlemen. You got to have someone to help you hum.
All right, everybody gets to hum.
And you got to help out
I get to lead the humming. I love that shirt. Are you humming? Close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the end out for the tide to bind. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Are we humming?
Very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day's through. You know I'd even be a fool for you. Because you're mine, I won't lie. Night is dark and day is light. I want to be with you each and every night. And loving you only proves that's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Way back in the back there on the left, you're not humming. There you go, hold your head up.
That guy way back there.
He's not humming, come on, pick it up. It is light. I want to be with you each and every night. And loving you only proves that's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Your last chance to hum. Watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the end out for the tide that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line.
All right, everybody, get that last song.
I think you're on a roll. I ain't gonna work on the railroad. Ain't gonna work on the farm. Lay around the shack till the mail train come back. Rolling my sweet baby's on. Oh, rolling my sweet baby's on. Rolling my sweet baby's on. Lay around the shack till the mail train come back. Rolling my sweet baby's on. Where were you last Friday night? I was laid up in jail. You were running the street with another man. Wouldn't need you go, my baby. And I was rolling my sweet baby's on. Rolling my sweet baby's on. Lay around the shack till the mail train come back. Rolling my sweet baby's on. sweet baby's arms. Rolling in my sweet baby's arms. Lay around the shack till the bell crack come back. Rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm gonna lay around the shack till the bell crack come back. Rolling in my sweet baby's arms. Thank you, music lovers. Keep those hands together. We got a special guest coming up here now, a woman that came from the hills of Tennessee and brought it